This is a game about managing a mystical, medieval, magical forge in the sky and influencing the world below with our weapons. We're essentially godlike arms dealers, using our craft to help shape the world below, or to just be entertained with the chaos. Does that sound interesting to you? My name is Charlie. This is Magic Forge Tycoon by Clever Trickster, and you'll learn more about this if you'd like by seeing the link in the description. Let's hit new game. I'm gonna name my forge. This is gonna be Char's Light. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. Char's Light. And those down below who properly worship Char shall be rewarded with my light. And my light, while it doesn't grant life and wealth directly, it can certainly help you claim it or keep it. Okay, so we're going to create kind of like a little sigil here or whatever. Let's say we need some darkness here. We're not evil per se. We're just, we're powerful. We need to express power. There's one way to express power well. That's to make sure there's some red in there. Yeah. I don't want shields. No, we're offense here. Ooh, this looks cool. I don't know what that is, but that looks cool to me. And you know what? I'm kind of thinking maybe instead of this blue here, yeah, we can go like this and then make this be more of a white. You know what? I think that's a great sigil right there. There we go. This is Char's Light. There you go. We can play the tutorial. I think I'm good. I haven't played through the whole thing yet, so I really only have the basics in the beginning. But as it introduces new things, I think we'll probably get it. We'll see. Tooltips are pretty good in the game too, so we can hopefully read those. And then importing unlocked crafting hints. If you've already played before and you've learned how things work, the game develops hints as you go. So your people are learning things, and that knowledge is presented to you on what your people have learned. If you'd like that from a previous playthrough to carry over to a new one to kind of give you a jump start, you can click this button. I want to start fresh though. So we're going to hit new game without that checked. Okay. It says you are the heir of a legendary blacksmith whose name was probably Thor, but, for this example, it's going to be Char. It's Char's Light, whose weapons once shaped the fate of Corindor. Now it's your turn. You've joined the guild and scraped together enough to coin a new forge, a new legacy. You are the heir of a legendary blacksmith whose weapons shaped the fate of Corindor. Now it's your turn. You've joined the guild and scraped together enough coin to rent a modest forge called Char's Light. Time to build your legacy. You have 15 years to surpass your ancestor and earn your place among the greatest forge masters in guild history and climb the leaderboard. No pressure. Okay, so we're going to pause really quick. The first thing we're going to want to do, we only have one option at the moment, and that is to make something. We don't have anything below. We can't see anything below yet. Top of the screen, we have our current gold. This is the primary currency, and we also pay rent for the forge, okay? And then the secondary currency used for guild services, this is called favor, and we'll develop this as we generate contracts and fulfill them. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's create our first project. As far as I can tell, these are randomly generated at first, like what you have available for you. So we're going to start out with elven bows or troglodyte maces. Okay, we can choose either one of these things. And right now we don't know much about how to make them, so we can just learn by starting. So I'm gonna start with a mace, see how this works. The resources for this are wood and iron. So we need to also have these resources. It'll take us 6 weeks to make a batch of 5. It'll take us 2 weeks to make a batch of 1. Okay, so the more you make in batches, you can reduce your cost per, if you will, on time. So 5 is going to take 6 weeks, and it'll cost us 1,250 gold because we have to buy the resources. Okay, there's also elixirs and enchantments. I have no idea what those do. I assume they alter the quality of the weapons and make them cool, but I don't know. There's also different tiers of stuff. So these are patterns that we can use to create our weapons. There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And let's go ahead and start this project. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to be presented with this interface. There's a little bit of stuff to take in here, and there's kind of some stuff you'll have to get used to seeing as we go. At the top of the screen, we have a style counter, and we have a sturdiness counter. And the idea is you want to balance these things out. Each weapon has its own balance, but the scale is always going to show the balance being in the middle of this meter. So while some weapons want to be more elegant and want to be, maybe lighter, and others are just these brute force power weapons, the meter is always going to show us a balance for that weapon, okay? We have productivity counter too. As we get into it, you'll get a little bit more. So right now we're going to be focusing on phase 1. That's the structure, materials, and energy. And we can move these sliders where we think the sweet spot is for this particular weapon. So I'm going to go with maybe a bit more raw on the structure. We'll see how that goes. We'll go unalterable for the materials. Maybe I'll go about this far, and then let's have some chaotic energy, huh? I don't know about how many maces are really a controlled weapon. So we'll go down here, and we'll launch that. Now, as we forge, the forge is going to kick out these little bubbles, and I can pop those. When I pop those, it actually does something. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, but it actually is doing something. This little zone right here, this little gold zone, this is our balance. If we can get that to be right on this, that's going to be the most ideal for what we can come up with in that time. Now, that doesn't mean that our traits are correct. It just means that we have a rough balance of where we want to be. We're going to be graded on how well we do overall on the weapon. But as I pop those bubbles, this little zone is going to get wider. So I have a little bit more forgiveness, if you will, on getting things wrong. Okay, phase 2, production, hammering, temperature, balance. Well, I think we're going for power here, aren't we? Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Temperature, let's go maybe some more moderate here. And then you'll notice that we have we're a bit more we're a bit heavy on the red. And we need to kind of catch up with the purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have maybe a slight bit more purple on this side now. And what we should see is, because I'm putting 2 traits kind of more in the purple, only 1 in the red, we should see this kind of come back a little bit. Again, it doesn't mean that I've picked the right values for these things. It just means that I'm a little bit too heavy on style and not enough on the sturdiness, and I'm kind of got to balance that out. Maybe I'm not balancing out the correct way, but I'm at least balancing it out. Phase 3, finishing. So now we're right in the center. Great. Ornamentation. So minimalist, complex, how much fancy stuff is on this, right? How is our finish? I think we'll go with maybe over here towards the minimalist. For our inlay, let's go like a little bit more reinforced. Yeah, we go about maybe here, and then our engraving, we can maybe pop it over here. Okay, let's go ahead and launch that. And that should give us a rough balanced, or roughly balanced area here. And again, as I pop these bubbles, this gold zone here just gets wider and wider. Gives me a little bit more forgiveness. All right, so we're going to end up with some experience for our forge. We might be able to level it up. There we go. Maybe. And then we're also leveling up our style and our knowledge of the troglodyte for their types of stuff, right? Their style of weapons. Now we get graded. So this is our quality assurance department. These are like judges in the contest. And they're going to give us an idea how good we did. The scale also fluctuates. So in this case, I did quite well. The balance is good. And if it was all the way over here, it'd be perfect. And then we have a perfect rating over on this side. We're over here in the green. So we actually have perfect balance because we're in the zone that we needed to be. That's what we get graded here. And then our threshold is up in the green. So this is actually quite good. This turned out really well. Our quality is a 6.0. It's our final evaluation. Now we need to sell it. Now to sell it, we can do a couple of different things. We can sell it to the guild if nobody wants to buy it. That's a way to get some cheap money. It's the way to get the least amount of money, but at least you get some money back because it did cost us something to make these, right? Or we can set up trade with one of 4 different sort of city-states, nations. If it helps, it helps me. You can think of like a game of Civilization being played, and you are just like the gods in the sky that are going to provide weapons for those who are playing Civilization. Each one of these guys would love to just live in peace and harmony and have everything given to them and have all the things in the world. And a lot of times they're power hungry. So they might be willing to go to war. And that's good for us because it means more weapons. So maybe we want chaos. Each one of these guys have a title, ethnicity. These guys are humans. This is elves, goblins, dwarves. That's interesting. This might be the first time I've loaded a couple of different saves to start out. This Might be the first time where each nation is a completely different race. Because I've had 2 and 2 before. I've had 3 and 1 spawn before. That seemed like it was going to be unfair. So I started, giving it to the 1. But yeah, this is interesting. 4 different ethnicities. Great. And you'll see some other things about them too. They have subcultures. So ancestral, gregarious, ancestral, gregarious. I don't know whether or not their subcultures will align. So maybe ancestrals will like to be, team up with each other, or maybe they're more likely to form alliances, things like that. I have no idea. That makes sense to me though. Each one of these nations also have different resources that they can provide me if I'm their friend. Then there's economic power and military power. Military power, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. It's how strong their military is. And because you want world dominance, if you are someone with a really high military power, you are likely to attack or have conflict with people who have low military power. You're likely to exert your will upon them, right? But conversely, economic power is a thing too. So these guys have a 96, these guys have a 126. A 126 is much more likely to buy more weapons from me. They can afford more weapons. The more weapons I provide a nation, the higher their military power becomes. I can influence military power. So why don't we start with humans? They have economic power of 120, military power of 100. It seems like it's probably a thing that I can start with here. So we're going to purchase a trading contract with them. And as we drag this mace in, we can see how much they like this thing. They don't like it very much. It's a 0.5, but it's enough to where they'll buy it. As I place it in here, these are 2 weapons that I have for sale in the tribe of Mist Lake. And this is the price that I'm going to put on it. Okay. And so we can see I'm going to make a little bit of a profit here, just a little bit, but whatever. If I want to have a trade arrangement with somebody else, maybe I want to help the elves as well. Different subculture though. Maybe I'll stick with ancestral for now, because Trogmore is over there too. I have no idea who to support. We can see on the map proximities. So the elves are way over here. I don't know if they are going to be ignored more than those who are really close together, but we can see that Twistbeak, Mist Lake is over here. Then there's Twistbeak. I like Twistbeak. Twistbeak sounds cool. Military power is quite low. Economic power is very good. You know what? I think I'd like to get an arrangement with Twistbeak. So why don't we get Twistbeak as well? Okay, so we're going to buy some trade agreements with these guys. Now we just want to make things. So I'm going to go in. I've learned a little bit about this mace. I don't know if I've learned enough information to make a better mace yet, though. Well, we have a little bit. So we can see here that this is not correct. These 2 are not right. And based on my current position, we need to move in this direction to get the sweet spot. So let's try here. We didn't learn anything about materials, but I can maybe move this back and kind of play with it a little bit just to see what happens. We didn't learn anything about materials yet, but we know that stat needs to go to the right. So as we make them, we learn more about them. Okay, so hammering, again, we know these 2 are not correct. And based on this current position, we need to move this direction. Chances are hammering needs to be over here. That makes sense to me. We'll bring the balance down this way just to kind of balance that out, because I don't want to get too skewed to the right, or to the red, I suppose. I want the balance to kind of stay where it needs to be. A little bit closer anyway. Okay. We didn't learn anything about the phase 3, so we're just kind of winging it here. And I'm a little heavy on red, so why don't we bring the inlay? I don't think that's it. I think ornamentation. We'll bring this in, and maybe we bring kind of you in about like this. It's going to just put a little bit of bias towards purple. And we'll see how well these turn out. Now, the time is running down below, too. This is not like time is paused while we're making things. Time is running the whole time. You'll get time progression up here in the upper right corner. And so the war or trade or whatever's going on down below is going on while we're in this screen and looking at this. And likewise, if we look at the map while we're forging, the forge is still going too. Okay, so this one didn't turn out as well. We didn't do as good of a job. It's still in the perfect range in this area, and the threshold here, and the balance. It's still in the perfect range, but it just didn't get graded as well. There's just some things that are a bit more off than last time here. But we can still sell it. Twistbeak likes this more, so I can go ahead and sell that. Or what I can do is I can put it here. this is my own warehouse. I can store this stuff. And as we progress, we can unlock more spaces. So we can stockpile more weapons and be able to satisfy contracts situationally as they come up if we want to. Now, I sold weapons here. In order to claim the money, I have to go over here and claim it. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and pause it because I have to pay rent, right? It's costing me money. So I can go over here and just get my money. So I'm back to 11,000, 11,700. And Twistbeak is right here. So I haven't influenced their military might at all. I'm mostly just putting them in a general market. So this isn't going to have any impact on their what they want. Now you can see here, Trogmore actually wants these a lot more. Trogmore wants them at a 1.2. So that's interesting. So I could pay for an agreement with Trogmore and then put that over here instead. And now I can make more money with that. It looks like anyway. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I can. I mean, theoretically I can. So 430 is the price. And they like this at a 0.6. If I raise this, they like it a lot less. And they're likely to buy it much slower. But if I move it over here, I can sell this for more over here. Okay. So let's say I go for 40 here. They like it at a 0.6. This is the same as over here, but I'm making a little bit more money for it if I sell it to them instead. Okay. So I want to see about refining this mace. So we learned a little bit last time. We know that this is a sweet spot, which just happens to be left of where this cursor is. So now that we know where the energy is and where the structure is, we just need to learn about materials at this point. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as we hit the sweet spot here, the quality is going to go way up. And that's really important because if we just, okay, go like this. So if we continue to satisfy contracts for these guys and gain reputation with these guys, they're going to develop a relationship with us that's a little bit higher progressed, and they're going to start offering us contracts. So right here, looks like hammering needs to go even higher to the right, and then also balance. We see the sweet spot is here. We're really balanced to power with a mace. That does make sense, doesn't it? So temperature, I'm going to bring this even more to the purple area just to really offset. We're going to go pretty heavy in the red here. There we go. Pop that one. And you can see we're still selling stuff over there. We can get some more money for that. Okay. Ornamentation, inlay, engraving. We still don't know about this. We're a little heavy in the red here, so maybe we'll go in and say maybe more natural engraving. We'll go a little bit further there. I think we'll probably just keep something about maybe like this. I don't know if that's going to balance it right, but we'll see. In theory, we should have a higher quality mace from this. In theory. And then as we've forged these 3 weapon batches, we'll start getting contracts after this. Okay, so we went to level 2 on our forge. That's good. Base productivity goes up. And then also we have level 2 for our maces. For troglodyte in general. So we're learning more things. So in general, yeah, we did better. So this is our best one yet, right? 6.5. So again, we want to bring this over, and these guys are going to like these a lot more. But it looks like Twistbeak also wants a bit more too. So, but these guys like this more. So I want to sell for more money. So since we have higher quality, you can see we can sell that for a higher price, right? So I'm able to go like all the way up to 460. I'll bring it down to 455, let's say. Right, and I sell it for basically the same pace as the other one does, which is pretty good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab this, and as they sell, then that will come in and I can collect the money. Now, we have our first contract offering, and it's actually not with somebody that we have agreements with in that market. It's actually down here in Anathor. The elves have a contract for us. That's what this is. So if I click this, they want bows, and they have a pretty good economy down here too, so it's a good thing to get in their good side too. We could see a breakdown of everything that's about them. They're greedy. Lowers the gold paid by kingdoms for new contracts. Okay, so that's not great. They're in general paying us less than the average. If we get into level 1, they'll grant us free wood every month. Okay, that's good. Alchemy, there's no effects on that yet. I don't know. And then here is the order that they want. They want 5 bows that are of at least 6.4 quality. If we agree to this contract, which we don't have to do, but if we agree to it, we have 19 weeks to produce the order. And then there's a cooldown before new contracts happen. That's 3 weeks. Our reward is here. They're going to pay us 3,146 gold for this. This is below average according to their greediness. But here's another thing. It's very important that we get favor as well. This is used to unlock guild services, which is a really big part of progressing the game as we go. And then there's also an impact on their military strength. If we satisfy this contract, their military strength can go up by 24. So it's already at 80. It's at 86 right now. It could be upwards of 110 if we do that. Right. I don't know if military strength, I guess we can read the tooltip. I don't know if it goes down over time. Determining mobilization capacity, defense capabilities against the enemy, and victory potential in war, subject to constant attrition during conflict. So it does gradually go down while they are at war. So if it gets too high, they'll be willing to go to war, and then they have to keep it up if they want to keep the war going. That makes sense. Everybody's at peace right now. So I haven't made a bow yet. I'm not confident I can do a 6.4 bow, and I don't want to have to deal with a penalty. But what we can do is just let that go and maybe make a bow. A 6.5 mace, that's all right. We're okay with that. Let's see what the bows are going to do. So it takes 6 weeks to make 5 of them. We don't have to make 5 of them. We can just go and make one of them if we want, just to like learn more information about it if we want to. Cost a lot less time. So we can try that. Let's take the structure. We make elegant structure, let's say. Mystical materials. And then we want really controlled for a bow, right? I would think. So let's try this. And we'll make 1 bow and see how well we do with our stats here. So I would think maybe some delicate hammering here. I don't know what temperature it needs to be. Looks like we're pretty heavy on purple anyway, so we'll go down here. Accuracy makes sense on the balance, though, for this. So maybe we need extreme temperatures. Bring that back a little bit. All right, and you can see these stages are finishing a lot faster because it's all about time. I'm also not getting any, things in my my forge. I can't pop those, so I've got to be very precise if I want to have this balanced right. Ornamentation. Let's try minimalist here. We'll go reinforced a little bit, and then we'll have some structured engraving on this side too, just to kind of try to tip this back into the red a little bit more. Probably looks like we went a little too far. Don't get as much XP though because we didn't make as many of them, but I do want to see kind of where our starting point is here. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of in the middle. Yeah, it'll be around a 5.2. Not bad for our first bow. I can give this to somebody. Let's say we'll just pop it into the Tribe of Mistlake. Now we sell that for a lot higher price, so that's interesting. You might want to look at doing that for people too. Let's go ahead and grab some of this money. And now Mistlake has a contract for us as well. Mistlake wants bows. Okay, they want 7 elven bows at a 6.4 quality. I'm not there yet, but notice how they're paying. What's their thing? They're perfectionists. Imposes higher quality weapons for the completion of new contracts. All right, Twistbeak is considered perceptive. Provides an extra chance to gain a hint during weapon production. Oh yeah, we want to have. Oh yeah, that's what we want. And then we definitely want to be friends with them. Okay, so bows are definitely where we are now. We're gonna make 5 of them this time. I don't know if we learned anything from 1 bow, but 5.2 is not bad. Why don't we take our materials this time, and we'll go. Let's go here with it, and then for the energy. Let's bring the structure back like this. I don't want to go too wonky this time. We were very over to one side last time. It's kind of forced to do it differently. Because we're making a bigger batch and it takes us more time, we're going to get a little bit of a gap here. Okay, so temperature, why don't we bring this down a little bit? Hammering, we can go maybe to this side, and then I still think the balance should be on accuracy, but I mean, bows need power too, right? So maybe we're a little bit too far. Let's just see what this is if we bring it back. Again, all the while this is going on, we have other things happening on the world space too. If we pause it, these guys have a contract for us. Now they want maces at a lower quality. Okay, I mean, I really do want these guys to be friendly with me, especially since they give me hints or a potential for hints, a higher potential. So I definitely want them to be happy. And this will influence their military strength by 18. So I think we want to do this next. 16 weeks to fulfill that order. Now we learned a little bit about engraving here. And we know that it wants to be more natural. So we'll put that here. And we're a little bit heavy on the red. So maybe we bring the ornamentation to more complex. And we can reinforce it just a little bit more. See how that works for us. And now we need to complete orders. That's the quest right now, is completing 3 orders. All right, Elven Bow, still level 1. Let's see if we did better. Okay, that's good. Our quality rating needs to be higher to satisfy those contracts. So I need it to be 6.6. Excellent. We're averaged on the threshold here, but hopefully we learn something. With a 6.6 bow, we can definitely do some of these contracts potentially here soon. So I'm gonna leave this here, which means we're not gonna get paid for it right now. But I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, I could fulfill this right now. I could, because I have the 6.4. Okay. I don't like that they're greedy, but I need to satisfy these orders. So I'll accept this order, and all we'll do is we'll come over. This is our little warehouse. We're going to pop this in here and hit send. And that is going to influence their military strength. Yeah, these guys are at 86. So it's going to add 24 to it, supposedly. There it is, 110 now. So I made them stronger. Cool. Okay. We need to do the maces, right? That's what they wanted. So we can start the maces. We have a 6.5 is what we made. We didn't learn anything about materials last time. 6.5 is good enough for the contract, though. So we'll just go ahead and launch that. It kind of puts the settings where we were last time. So we already know where we were. Kind of keeps them in place. All right. We don't know anything new about temperature. Why don't we put temperature back a little bit then? We know that those 2 values are right where they need to be. And then, well, we are way over to the red now, aren't we? We need to go. Oh, good. This is going to go back. Now, engraving needs to be even more to the left here. So we'll put natural there. And then I think we'll take the ornamentation and kind of, I think we'll, yeah, maybe go like this with it. So we should have a lot more purple on the finishing side of things, adding morph to the style counter here. Hopefully it gets it into that balanced area. Ooh, barely. Okay. Barely. Let's see how we did. Threshold's way over on perfect on that. That's good. We have a 7.0 rating here. I like it. So we're going to be a 6.5 still. We actually didn't gain any overall rating on that. But if I go back to these guys, right? They want a 5.4. These guys want, no, hang on. Yeah, they want a 5, or they want a 6.4. So I could take this, help their military power, help boost them up a little bit. So if I accept this contract, come over to my warehouse and do that, that's going to give me the money for that. And it helps my reputation with them a little bit more too. Let's go ahead and do another set of maces. Still didn't learn anything about materials. Okay, we were really skewed to the red last time. We had to really bring back the purple. So I'm going to actually start with the mystical on this side a little bit, since we don't really know exactly where that's supposed to be anyway. So it should help a little bit more. Help me balance the final stage a bit better. Temperature, I might just leave it here. Part of me feels like extreme temperatures are going to be better there. I know I'm kind of offsetting what I just said, but I'm going to bring that over. I feel like this mace really should be there. Okay, now we can pause it. The tension between Trogmar and Twistbeak. We have 2 places now, 2 factions that are potentially going to go to war. So if we come back over here, we can see that these guys are kind of in conflict. They're kind of getting ready to fight. Now, I can provide bows to Twistbeak, right? And to help them out a little bit there, because the military power in Trogmore is 130. They're pretty strong. So if I want to provide more weapons to Twistbeak, I can help them kind of not be an underdog in this fight, help them get to where they can stand up. And I like that idea because I like their bonus. And these guys are considered productive, by the way. Their bonus increases all kingdoms' resource production, which is kind of interesting. So maybe if you're... I don't know exactly if it's like their allies get it or it's just me that gets it, but we also have 176 favor right now, which is great. So once we satisfy another order, we'll get access to guild stuff, and then we can start spending favor if we want to as well, which I could get really quickly if I just give Mist Lake this contract with the maces I'm currently making. So let's take a look at this. We don't have to respond to conflicts. We can just let them go, right? There's not a conflict with us. They're a conflict with each other. Okay, so this is not correct, and the inlay needs to be all the way to the red. That's a problem because I am not balanced at all here. So my ornamentation, I'm going to have to crank this all the way over here. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put complex ornamentation on this. So I can really help that purple get back over into the balance area. Yikes. I barely got it. Super, very, 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 very close. Okay, let's see where we are here. So we did get perfect balance because of that threshold barely being met. And look at these ratings. Hey, a much better mace indeed. 8.3. Very nice. Now, we might choose to sell this on the open market because it's way above what these contracts would want. So I'm not getting any more reward for going way over the quality rating. But in order to get access to guild stuff, that's kind of where I want to be. I think I'm going to make bows for these guys. They have 14 weeks, but I am going to satisfy this contract just to tick this box. So we're going to go over here. We're going to get the Tribe of Mist Lake. We're going to accept this and then give them this. And now we have that. Now, what we gain access to here is patterns. So we can go over to the guild now. And in the guild services, this is like our tech tree. We can unlock things from this. We can get new patterns. And then once we get more patterns, we can then, spend in getting more materials, or this tab will unlock, which is what I think was going to happen. This tab will unlock. So we can get slings, daggers, or a different kind of mace. I feel like we already have the mace, but this one is a dwarven mace, and it's, maybe it's a better mace. Could be a better mace. Looks like a better mace. So we'll get daggers. This is going to cost me $17.50. And then we also have to keep in mind on what our patterns take as far as materials, because if we have a good relationship with someone who's providing us free materials, we might want to kind of skew our weapons that we make towards those materials so that it costs us less overall. So in this case, the elven people are going to provide me with wood, so we can try slings and see if they like. Graceful flinging of rocks is probably not going to last too long. I think I'd rather go with maces, honestly. We'll just have other things that we'll have other resources coming in from other people too. So we'll buy those. Okay, now we can get forge upgrades. These are huge. We have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. The first one is a Forge Awakening enchantment. Unlocks enchantments and upgrades for other islands. So it's going to allow me to have things on those other islands. You might see this over here, right? I'm only on one island. Well, you can build things on other islands and unlock them and get them started. One of the things I like is a workshop, but I don't have enough money for that. This is going to have a production slot where we're going to designate what kind of weapon we want them to make. And based on our best rating we've had for it, they will constantly produce that item for us ongoing every day. They will work on just that. And they will consume resources while they do it. So we will need to constantly have those raw resources in stock if we want them to keep producing. But this is a way to make more than one thing at a time. We have our forge. We can only make one thing at a time. We can then get a workshop going where they can make things. Our forge will get better as we go. The workshop does not innovate. They just accelerate our production. They just make things efficiently, but they don't innovate anything. But I like the workshop. We're not going to have it yet because I don't have enough money, but I like that a lot. We can also get automatic collection of income from trading posts, which is kind of cool. I won't have to go to the map and click things anymore. Islands, I can't buy that just yet. So I think I kind of want to save up for the workshop, to be honest. Automatic collector is cool, but I kind of want to save up for that. We have local routes, increases reputation gain from trading posts and contract sales. That's probably good to have right away. Adds a reroll option to refresh guild shop offers at a cost, and then stock optimization expands inventory capacity. I kind of like this one, honestly. I think this will pay us over time. Now that is an extreme amount of money, and I'm kind of poor at the moment, but I do have on the map. I don't. I just completed the contract, didn't I? So I have to make something now. Okay, so we have the bows, we have the maces. Let's fulfill a contract here if we can. And we have two. We have a 5.4 bow we need to make and a 4.4 mace with these guys. And this is the ones I wanted to help, right? So we should probably do this. They need 5 of them. And so if I was to go over and get this mace, it's going to cost me $12.50. So we're going to be in a little bit of a pinch for money here. And you can lose the game if you spend 2 months in the red. I'm not in the red yet, but I have to pay $100 a month for forge rent. So we're pretty close here. Our settings are going to be good enough to satisfy this contract. So I'm going to leave my settings alone. I guess I could experiment a little bit more, because I know that my settings are good for this contract already, like well in excess of it. So maybe temperature, we can go a little more extreme just to see. See if our guys learn anything from doing that. And then we have another, I think we have another contract here. That's what that little blip is. There's another one available. No, not available. I think it's, no, it is. It's a new one available. This is totally different. They want this, they want the sling now. 26 weeks. And they don't even need high quality. That's not bad. We'll take a look at that. So we know that the inlay needs to be even more this direction. And we're already very heavily red. So ornamentation is going all the way to complex here. And I probably won't get it perfectly balanced. But it doesn't have to be for that contract, so it's okay. It can just be 4.4 quality or higher, which we're going to get. Okay. And actually, by getting that, even though it's all the way to the red, by getting it right, we probably help our quality rating anyway. So this guy liked it at an 8.8. 8.7. Look at that. That's very nice. All right, so what we want to do is we want to put that into that contract. So you got... Oh, it went away! Right before I clicked it. You kidding me? Oh, you guys suck. It went away right before I clicked it. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we have to sell it. So these guys really like it. So do these guys. But I don't think this influences anything. Yeah, this doesn't really influence their military strength, I don't think. I'm just sort of selling them over here. And they're going to pay me the highest price. And that's what I really need is money. So I'm going to sell these things for 480. I kind of need them to sell quicker, though. Let's go 475. Yeah, okay. And I need them to sell, so I can't really make anything until they do. So we're going to let time go a little bit here. We should see them sell in the market. There we go. Gives me a little bit of extra time. I went way too far. This was supposed to be... Oh, crap. Now it's there again? You suck. Dwarves, you got to make up your minds, all right? I had this for you. There's still 4 left here. So if I pull them out, there's still 4 left. And what we can do is first, so it doesn't go away, we can accept it. Okay. So we'll accept this. Then what I need to do is we're just going to make 1. So we'll make 1. It can happen very quickly. It doesn't cost a lot to make. We can make 1. So we'll do this. And we'll keep everything the same as far as we can tell. It won't be a super great rating, but whatever. And we'll go temperature. We'll bring the temperature down, I think. We'll go like here. It's going to be very hard to get the balance if I don't go back that way. And then, yeah, ornamentation is got to stay complex, I guess. We'll go like this. Okay, so we didn't get it balanced perfectly this time, but it's okay. The goal is getting that contract done so I don't have, like, no money. I need to make sure I have money. There we go, 8.2. Fine. We'll take this. We're going to give you this. I can send this. And then I want to send this as well. Can I send? Oh, we can batch merge. So if we batch merge, we end up with 5 at 8.3. So it takes an average, it looks like. So if I give 4 that are 8.3 and 1 that's 8.2, still balances out. I'm going to merge that. I like that. That's great. That's what I want. So now they pay me money and we don't have to starve. Okay, our people can eat tonight. That's good. Maybe we'll make the slings down here. See what the slings are all about. So we could take a look at... oh, we didn't actually unlock the slings. Yeah, they want them, but we didn't unlock them. And it costs $13.75 to do. I honestly don't want to. We're not gonna give them the slings. So we can just make anything we want at this point, and maybe we can get a little better on the bows. All right, we're pretty good on these maces, but I don't think we can actually make the other ones. We just don't have the money. So this is $17.05 for these bows. They sell for a pretty good price. We just need to learn a little bit more about them. So why don't we bring the materials down a little bit? We can bring controlled energy up a little bit. See how that goes. We can sell them in the store because we don't have any contracts on the map currently that we would want to meet, but we might get them and then we can just, sell them then. Hammering. Let's go. I kind of want to bring the temperature down a little bit. Hammering up. Temperature down. Balance. I still want to skew it towards accuracy, to be honest. Let's go vigorous hammering. See how that works. If one of the judges say that they like my hammering, then I'll know I'm getting close. I don't know how the judges would... I don't know much about forging, but I don't know how the judges would see my technique in hammering just by looking at the finalized product. But I guess if you have a lot of experience in this, you can tell, I guess. So we're right in the middle right now. Let's bring the ornamentation down. And this seems like it's still kind of skewed in one direction, doesn't it? So maybe we'll bring the inlay like that. We'll see how that goes. All right, what's this contract currently? What are we looking at here? So these guys want bows. Excellent. That's what I was looking at here. And these guys are at peace again. So what happened there is I brought their military power closer together. They're less likely to go to war with each other if there's tensions between them, if their militaries are somewhat close in power. It's more likely to go to war if it's skewed. Okay. I have everybody kind of balanced in power right now, so there's less for there's going to be less potential for war. I like this actually because they're going to take the stuff I'm currently making, give me free gems. That's good. 16 weeks. Their military power will go up to 141, which will put them... This will make humans the most powerful, which, I guess isn't that big of a deal, but I'll go ahead and accept that order because I can hit that order. It's good. We're currently making these bows anyway, so... And I want that money. $3,500 right now seems great. Hopefully our bows improve. It's going to be 5.9 now. Is that better than what we had before? I forget. Either way, it's better than what they want, so we'll send it to them there. Okay, so this is how the game kind of progresses. New nations will pop up on this map, though. This is not the only 4 places. If you're curious on how big the map can get, I don't know. But I do know that new players will pop up. There's other slots here. I assume up to 9 will be on the map at any given time. And the politics between them and the war tensions and stuff between them will dynamically shift, and we can influence that by who we sell weapons to. Okay. We also have a statistics screen here that kind of tells us how good we are in all these different types of weapons. We have Druidic, Orcish, Spectral, Troglodyte, Elven, Dwarven, Celestial, Strange, Draconic, Obsidian, Glacial, and Atlantean. We have our Forge level, different productivities and stuff that we get. Different transactions we've made. Here's our financial breakdown, which is no detail. I think this is probably because the quarter isn't over yet, so there's no money there. Here it is by the year, though. I think we just entered a new quarter, maybe is what it is. I can't pause because I'm on the screen, but it's fine. so we can see what it is. Yeah, annually here. Not great. Here's some graphs if you're a person who likes graphs. There's some graphs. I wonder when we started spending all the money, you know, on the guild improvement stuff. Yeah, big things here, but hopefully I can get that under control. If you want to see more of this game, you can let me know in the comments down below and we can proceed even more. Otherwise, the link is in the description. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.